Welcome back, everybody. Pretty excited about this one today. This is big table 9-ball action, and it's at a place called River City Billiards. It's just outside Cleveland, maybe technically within Cleveland. And I've played here twice now. This is my second week. They are 9-foot tables, as you can probably tell. Otherwise, I have it marked up there in the corner. There are some good players here. There are some players who play a ton. They kind of live the game. Good age range, which I really like to see. And my first week out, I won the tournament. It's a good little payout. You know, it depends on how many people show up. But they have a normal entry fee of $15, and then you can buy into the side pot for $5. And I went out the first week and I was like, yeah, I like myself today. Let's see how we do. So I bought the side pot, ended up winning, so I won both. And let's see how we do this week. This is my second week out, came out to defend my title. Good opportunity to open up here. Just kind of thin this 1-ball, big position window for the 2. Unfortunately, just slightly undercut this 1-ball. My opponent, really good guy, Mike. Got to meet him the week before. So this is our second time playing together. And yeah, he's a good dude, good player. Can tell he loves the game. We got to chat a little bit about like BMX and stuff. He had visited Colorado before, he told me. So yeah, just getting to know some of the people out here. But I am super excited to be playing on very nice equipment. They take excellent care of the tables at this place at River City. There are 6 tables. It's just like, you know, concrete walls, cinder block walls. No frills. You love to see it. He's gonna put me up on this 2-ball. In my warm-ups, it was interesting. The first week I came out nice and early. I gave myself an hour to settle in, do some mighty acts, like my usual routine to get settled. And I played very well for a few rounds. And I had one round that was a little weird, but I was able to get through it. This particular day, this was just this past Sunday on the 27th. I got in a little later than I would have liked. And so I didn't have as much time to settle in and do my warm-ups. I'm just trying to create distance here and block him. Trying to get him behind the 6. I don't think I fully got there. Certainly an adjustment if you've played on a big table before and you're used to bar box league table play. But if I get that warm-up time, I'm going to settle in pretty quickly. Interesting point about the rules here at River City. Jump cues are not allowed. You can jump with your playing cue or your break cue, I think. I'm pretty sure, as long as it's a full-size cue. That's partially just to dissuade people from doing any potential damage, to prevent people rather from doing any damage to the tables. It's an interesting rule. I don't mind it in the sense that it will give me more chance to work on my kick game, which needs work. But yeah, good range of players, really nice place. They have an old school real jukebox. That was an interesting position because the 2-ball was makeable. It was very thin, kind of awkward cut, and you have to try to hold the cue ball for the 3. But I knew it was a bit of a 2-way, that if I missed, the 2-ball wasn't going to lay up an easy spot for him. It's a race to 4 on the front side. The first week I went out, it was 4-3, so it was a race to 4 on the front, 3 on the back. This week, for whatever reason, he changed it, the tournament director changed it to 4-2. So it's a race to 2 on the backside, which is pretty brutal. That can go by very quickly. And you don't want to get knocked over to the backside early in the night. It's a tough way to go home. I'm gonna try to make this ball most likely. Little rail first, probably, you know, some running spin, just a little bit of an overcut. But the speed's there and the angle's there to get on the 3. That's something that I'm learning about the game, especially on these 9-foot tables against better players. Just work on getting in stroke, finding a good process. Something that I'm paying so much attention to in competition is shortening my form early in the match. It's a good shot from Mike here. Just make sure you get on the 3. And as long as he makes a good shot on the 3, he should have a line on the 4. But shortening my form early in the match means that I have, you know, the sort of fulcrum distance from the bridge hand to the tip contact point on the cue ball. Maybe jabbed at it just a little bit. It looked like he hit it pretty good, but does bobble out. I believe these are Pro Cut 4.5 pockets, so they're playable. They can be forgiving if you hit them well. I just have to try to hold this cue ball unless I want to go around, but I can't imagine I'm going to want to do that with the bridge. Yeah, I think that was the consideration there. Do I want to go around? Probably not. Let's just hold it, accept a longer shot on the 4, give myself plenty of room to cue at it. This is part of what would normally settle me early in the match if I had enough time to do the warm-ups with the Mighty X and whatnot, is spear this 4 ball in, maybe just pinch back a little bit for the 5 in the side. Once I settle, those are very doable, but I'm not super steady yet. Yeah, I'm not feeling the arm, but it'll get there. The longer bridging is something that I've been thinking about a lot. It's also nerves, you know. I'm still new to this place, and I feel like I've been playing well in general, but a lot of unknown quantities, and as much as I'm working on paying less attention to my opponent, it definitely still factors in, right? Like, we're just people. We're just like people moving some balls around, so like you are going to notice the opponent, you're going to pay attention to them. It's just a matter of sort of working your way out of that. Mike's in kind of a tough spot here. He should be able to thin this, maybe play to overcut it and avoid the scratch. A little down and back to drop on the 6. I know he'd really, yeah, okay, he can dig into this a little bit and spin away from the corner. Played it pretty full, but he is able to pull away from it. Oh, watch this dress up for the 6 in the side. These tables play so nice, guys. They just roll really true. You should be able to just roll this in, maintain an angle on the 7. Doesn't have to do much. Got a little flat on the 7, but he should be fine. You can shape the 8 in the bottom right corner here. I'm going to call this bottom right, bottom left. Wanted to come out, the 8 in the side, overhit it just a little bit, setting him off angle, but manageable. Can roll through this and take a bit of a longer hit shot on the 9. Yeah, it was a pretty dramatic cut, more than it seemed from the camera angle. So Tester on the 9 ball for the first game. Like I said, race to 4. There's no handicaps, which I love. I had somebody tell me, I didn't get the guy's name, but I had somebody tell me the first week that it's not handicapped unless you win too much. So we'll see if I win this thing a couple times, maybe they'll put some weight on me. This is the, it's very similar to the 80-20. I think Josh Burble put a video up about that on Slate. You know, cue balls here, object balls here, very similar to that shot, where you try to make 8 out of 10 and then just use the feedback of over or undercut. I was pretty good at this for a minute, but I'm not practicing right now. So overcut it. You'll actually notice if you follow this sort of tournament series from this particular tournament night, I consistently miss that ball. And I am very aware of that miss tendency, and it's something that I have to work on, but you just got to put in the time. He should attack this. You know, you could chip it to either side and create distance. Yeah, he just wants to make it. Good shot. Oh, cue ball follows the 1 in. And 9 drops. Another note about the format, snaps do not count in the bottom corners, they count everywhere else. Good opportunity for me to get on the board. The 5-7 is a problem. I remember looking at the 5 a number of times, and I just, even with good shape, I do not believe that you can throw the 5 in. So the early consideration was, since the 3's hanging, is there a way to play the 2 ball and then try to get down into the 5? The 4 is huge, so it's just hard to get there. Could you theoretically play the 2 this way and have the cue ball come into the 5-7 to develop it? Maybe. It's very aggressive. It's there, but it's pretty tough. And early in the night, I don't know if I have the feel yet. I don't know if I have the confidence to go after that. So I'll probably just lay up on the 3 and try to shape the 4 in such a way that I can develop the 5. Getting into here would be nice to get on the 4 and come back down, or, you know, even above it. Cue ball's here. Workable angle on the 3 to get around. I'll probably just spin off this 3 ball. I don't believe the 4 goes past the 5. Not that you would really want to. Should just be able to spin off this rail first into the 4. Don't think that was the plan. Maybe I was just trying to get down below the 4. I'm not sure. Probably fortunate to have rolled into the 4 so I didn't hook myself. Now I think the play is just, yeah, get him under the 5. I didn't hit it that well. I think I ended up playing that shot in a later match in this same tournament. I hit it pretty well where I sort of drag at it, like low left in that case, to sort of slow it down, drag off it, and tuck him under the 5. He's got a makeable 4. It's similar to that 80-20 shot. Come across table, you will end up with a look at the 5, but no guarantee you can do anything with it. And running into the 5 from here is super, super tough, if it's even possible. He went low left, so he was trying to get back down here. Okay. Pretty straightforward shot on the 4. I could just stop the cue ball there and then maybe use that angle, you know, keep the cue ball in here, stop shot on the 5, chip it out and around to block it. That seems like a good play. Maybe the cut in the side is there so I can come out and around. Or if I can just draw down, I'm just gonna power it around. Just sort of manufacture an angle by coming off these 2 rails. Yeah, here again, I'm on the 5, but I just don't, even with a super slow roll, that's probably the only way to play it, is sort of out and drop under the 6. I just don't think it was there. I don't remember it feeling possible. I think I go for it though, because I'm silly. And then, yeah, I just, even at that speed, it's for sure not gonna go. Just being a silly guy. He needs good shape on the 6 and he should be out. I believe the 7 goes on the right side. I'd probably just come across and get onto the 6. Oh, he's coming up that way. Yeah, I'd probably play down here for the 6 in the side. You're not going to love that. Or, you know, you shape the 6 up top. But he's faced with an awkward back cut on the 6. If he hits it thin, he'll roll into the 9. Or just make both of them. That's cool. I'm down 2-0 in round 1. Start to get a little squiggly up here, right? Pressure's on. I drove all the way out here. I don't want to lose these matches. I don't want to go 2 and out, right? All the stuff that we have to cope with. You just gotta hold space for that. You have to validate it. Like, hey, this game matters to me. I'm here for a reason. It makes sense that I would feel pressure. I hit this one pretty good, but I needed to dig into it just a little more to get a good line on the 2. This is a weird spot. I've been experimenting with these more though, where it's that 2-way, right? I want to bank the 2. If I miss it, I want it to come in to the long rail, like pro side, and still drift a cue ball down table to get a look at the 3. Pretty good. See what I mean? I'm always going to end up with some kind of look at the 3 and in missing the 2, I'm not giving him a look at the 2. It's very intentional. And you'll see people do that all the time. You cannot, you know, for a lot of those guys, you can't believe that they're doing that by accident. Those shots are playable. Good effort there. He was in a tough spot. I remember this. There's thin, real thin windows. If you want to play the 3, you have to be here or here. You can get a look at the 3, you know, up here or whatever. Like, those are big windows. That's nice. Probably the smart thing is to play into one of those windows, get a look at the 3, and then play safe again. The more aggressive thing is to play onto either side. And I'm silly, as I established. And so I'm going to try to spin down, speed control, and drop under the 3 to this side, I guess. So down past the 9. But you hit one of these and you're gonna improve your mood pretty quickly. That will do. Those feel pretty good, man. Maintain an angle on the 4. Pretty straight on it, huh? Just slightly off, because you want to be under the 4 enough that you can come up, shape the 5 in the corner. Coming out even more would be nice if you can get on the 5 in the side, because then the 5 tracks down to the 6. Those patterns come up so often in 9-ball. You just need to be willing to leave yourself the angle, let the angle do the work. I'm a little flat on the 4, but this is still workable. I might have to just come straight back. Okay, yeah, see, I tried to just stun up along the tangent line and get a look at the 5 in the top left, but went right into the 6. Kind of an awkward spot. I have enough room. The 5's actually makeable in the top right. Pretty good kick. Take that one. Sold out, right? Like the 5 and the 6 connect. 6 takes him right to the 7 as long as he hits the 5 well. Should just be able to pinch off this and lay up for the 6. Yeah. Got a little close to it. Maybe a touch of draw would have been indicated there just to keep him higher on the 6 ball. Here's a 2-way. You know, you shape the 7, bank the 6. If you miss it pro side, then it ends up in here. That wouldn't be a terrible result. If you make the 6, you're on the 7. That might be the play if you want to stay aggressive. Otherwise, he goes safe and creates distance, puts me behind the 8. Cue ball up table. Yeah, he went for it. Good play. Interesting. He waved, though, like he wasn't thinking about the 2-way. So he was just going all out to make the 6 ball. It's valid. He gets a good result. Tough hit on the 6, kind of an awkward 1-rail kick. I think I go for the 2-rail kick because rewards there. You're going to get a look at the 7. Yeah, if I kick it in from the short rail, it's going to send the cue ball up table. That's probably the play. Just finding that center point, shift over. I don't have a great feel for these tables yet, whether they bank long or short. It's one of the many things I need practice with. Not that far off. Probably just a pace issue. Needed to let it open up a little bit. Pretty good on the 7. Yeah, he does that pretty often. He'll kind of indicate where he was hoping to be. But I think realistically, habit-wise, telling yourself to do it before you shoot the shot helps to create that template. Good mechanics though. I mean, look how still he is. Gets down nice and slow. Ugh. I remember seeing him get down on that ball and I was like, yeah, he's supposed to make this one. Just hitched it a little bit. Maybe the contact point wasn't what he was aiming. Tough spot here. You got to do it though. I need to get a game up. Probably just come across a pinch of outside so that I don't lose the cue ball, but I'm always going to end up with a long shot on the 8. Gotta make something happen here. Probably just, yeah, float back across, guarantee to make the 7. That played okay. Here again though, I'm challenging myself with a long straight in shot, and when I'm settled, I will make this. But the way things are going, I'm not quite in line yet. I remember setting up a little funny and just not committing. Yeah. I just keep handing it back to him. Lay this one up. Just take a deep breath. I will get there. I'm not there yet. It's okay to be frustrated. Oh, Mike. Gotta put this one away, man. Where do you guys like the 9 ball here? I end up coming at this pretty thin with just a touch of inside. I shape the 9 up here. You could certainly come out and around, try to get up onto the side pocket. A little bit more pace in the cue ball, but this plays so natural. It's not a lot of movement, keeping it really compact. You're always going to make the 8 ball at that pace, right? You don't have to worry about hanging it or anything silly. And then you can just level out and give yourself a mostly unmissable 9 ball. Good break. Maybe a little high on the tip position. So something's got to happen here. You can push out after the break. I did not make a ball, so it's Mike's option to push out here. He's behind the 9, you can't jump. He's gonna push. Usually you want to push to a position where there's not an offensive shot. And I remember this being really interesting, and it actually sort of set a fire under me because he pushes to an offensive shot. The 1 ball's right there. And maybe he's thinking, I mean, rightfully so in his defense, that there's no way I'm putting this 1 ball down. But I look at the 1 ball and I'm like, oh, you don't think I can make this? Well, check this out. I'm gonna make the 1 ball and shape the 2. And this is where the match starts to turn around. There's the shoulder shrug. It's a dead giveaway, guys. That's when I'm starting to feel it. So this is a pretty open table. There's nothing too crazy here. What can go wrong? I mean, the 5 to the 6, I guess, if you try really hard. Even here, you know, I underhit the 3, but I've got an angle to come out and around. You can come down and back and shape it up here, or you can just come out and off the 3 towards the 6 and get on the bottom side of the 9. And you can tell by my bridge length too. That's another giveaway that I've settled. It can certainly get away from me. You know, that can bite me if I'm not ready to be settled, whatever that means. Thin window for the 5, but the 5's hanging, so just don't hook yourself. You don't have to get cute. A long shot on the 5 is going to be just as good as being close to the 5. Pick your spot on the 6. This is fine. Maybe a little funny because I'm bridging over the 9, but I should be able to get out and come up above the 6, shaping the 6 in the same corner. Coming out and around might be nice, but the 7 blocks a lot of the window for the 6 in the right side. So I should just be able to thin the 5 and get above the 6. This is pace. Yeah, maybe a little fuller on the 5 than you might expect. It's a good play though, because it takes me right into the window for the 6. From here, you can kind of stun off this to land on the long rail. You can roll through this and you'll end up going into the 8 most likely. I think I overcut it. I think I play it to this side of the pocket and I end up rolling towards the 8 just to make sure that I'm cute on the 7. Yeah, it works out. I'm a little flatter on the 7. I think probably the better shot is to stun off that 6 ball. Like, shoot it in, dude. Don't roll it in. That one bites me a couple times in some of these matches. Because now I have to force follow around from the 7. That's serviceable. Don't mind that. But made the 8 a little harder than it needs to be. Here's a good one. Again, like float across table, maybe a touch of outside. You don't have to get too cute on the 9. Yeah. That one's gonna feel good. It's those opportunities, just the momentum shift and then being willing and able to pounce on it. He sets me up for an offensive shot on the 1 ball and I run that out. And then suddenly something weird can happen, like this. The 9 ball gets kicked in the side pocket by touching, you know, like every ball on the table. That's a good break. The cue ball squatted down pretty well. Could use a little more pace maybe, but suddenly Mike's on the ropes, right? I'm on the hill. He went from being up 2-0 to down 3-2. I like the combo there, but you really have to be careful about controlling the 1 ball. You should be able to just put me under the 8. Ah, it leaked out. Probably rushed it a little bit. Could have used a breath on that one. This was a funny spot. I remember looking at this from behind the 8 and thinking, the 5 should be in the way enough to prevent a scratch. And I looked at a couple other options. You know, do I try to just play the combo? Although I don't remember if I had enough of the 1 to get into the combo. Not sure. So I end up trying to shoot the 1 in the hopes that the 5's going to be there to block the scratch and I should get across for the 2. At least get a look at the 2. I think I needed to stun off this though instead of rolling through it. That one's getting me a lot more than it needs to. It's like I'm not shooting them in when I need to. It's a confidence thing. I think it's a comfort thing on the big tables. Yeah, just like went full into the 5 and scratched off it. Bummer. Mike's got a good chance to level it out. Nothing crazy here. The 2 to the 4. You want to be straight on the 2, right? So that you can get behind the 4. Being straight on the 4 would be nice. If you end up in the center of the table. If you shoot the 4 from out here, you're going to come too far away. That makes the 5 tough. Little help from the 6. That should do. I don't know if the 5 probably doesn't go past the 7. He can pinch back off this. Those are so missable. Oh, he did okay. 6 helped out again. Very helpful little 6 ball there. No problems from here. Should just be able to spin off the 5. Just need an angle from the 8 to the 9. Or even under it. You know, if you're in here, you should be able to come out and off the 8. Yeah, he didn't shape the 7. Now he's got to make a decision about where this is going. Pretty awkward either way. Kind of fired at it. Gets blocked. Gives me a wave. These are funny because I felt settled after the last run out that I had. And normally you could just sort of roll the cue ball up, right? Send the 7 past the 8. Like the 7 goes this way. And then the cue ball comes off the 7 and onto the 8. Try to take away the one rail kick. But I remember feeling confident enough that the 7 was going to be in a tough spot to kick. And I decided to not get too greedy. I mean, this is still okay, but I left a very kickable 7 ball. Good hit, just a little too thin. Doesn't get away with this one though. I've got access to the 7. This is such an important shot to know. You could go at this with an inside ball and come out and around, or you can go outside, cut it kind of thinner, and it comes out and across like this. It's preference, depending on the situation, but you need to know how to do both. So I go outside, and it bobbles the 7, but I went for that because I knew I was going to like the angle on the 8 better. There's just a lot more room on this side of the 8. Should be able to just draw down. I usually like my draw stroke from here. Look how bad I underhit this though, guys. What the heck? It's off by half a table. Maybe the stretch. I didn't take enough time. I rushed into that 8 ball. Chip this. Classic kind of split shot. Yeah. These are okay. You hate to turn it back, but it just feels like with the, the previous position, you're not going to win the game from there. And we know Mike is liable to go for these unless he decides to chip it back to me. And yeah, see, he went for it. Leaves me a tester. So I think his tactical decision was good. It's just a matter of maybe he didn't fully commit to the bank. Because I think if you are committing to the bank, you play to overcut it so that it goes up this way. And then the cue ball comes down here. You want them there. And I'm just going to go after this. I'll just rifle this in. Drained it. Good little set. So yeah, race to 4. Thanks for checking this out. I like these. They're going to be a little quicker, right? The tournament videos are going to go a little faster. And I like the series. They're a lot of fun. I love playing at this location. It's going to be really good for my game. And I'm getting to meet a lot of new people. Shout out to those of you if you're checking out from River City. What's up? Thanks for playing with me. And I will try to get these out as often as I can. So stay tuned and you'll be seeing more of this and me soon.